Okay. Everything appears to be in order. Sorry for making you all wait. Had to take care of something important, but now we can dedicate a little bit of time to, this special stream today. Now, the reason why I call it special is because I normally don't do these types of streams, but I figured with the channel growing, and some people wondering how I do things on this channel or whatever, this would be a good opportunity for you guys to ask me some questions about myself that you did not know. So, like the title says, this is a Q&A with Qushu. So, let me go ahead and move this out of the way. Yeah, okay. So, first things first, let me go ahead and fix this video real quick so it doesn't try to autofocus out of nowhere. Let me bring this down. And then let me bring the lamp brightness up. Okay, there we go. All right, we're live, everybody. So I see Aristox, I see Regular Skeleton, and I see Psycho as well. So, like I said, this is a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions for me that you want to know, just ask me. And within reason, I'll do my best to answer it. This is the best opportunity for you guys to ask questions about things you may not know about me or whatever. I mean, just go ahead. Feel free. The floor is yours before I start talking and everything. Because I can just talk to you guys normally, but like I said, this is a Q&A. You ask the questions and I'll give you answers as best I can. But it's good to see you, D-Train, and C-Dez as well. Good to see you. So depending on how things go, this could either be a long stream or a bit of a short one. Either one is good for me. Because when we play some Zelda later on, I got the 3 star fragments that I needed in order to max out the ancient armor. So I'm already ready to run through this. I'm already ready to run through all of Breath of the Wild with the maxed out ancient armor against everything. So I can't wait to see how it stacks up. But for right now, go ahead and ask your questions. What are my finishing goals for this year? Finishing goals. That's a good one. Because I've already reached the point where I wanted to do this channel full time. And I'm currently going through that right now. I'm already a month and a half in. And so far it's going smoothly. And like, to start off, it took me some getting used to the fact that I'm no longer working a job where I get paid every week or every 2 weeks, because that's how it's been in the past with my other retail jobs that I was a part of. So it took some getting used to the fact that I'm going to be getting paid monthly doing stuff like this. So I've been taking things into consideration, gauging whether I buy this or not. And I'm just like, it's been a process, but it's been a good process because I've been able to wake up every day and it's like, wow, I get to do this every day for as long as I want. That freedom has been nice. So I've reached that, I wouldn't call it a finishing goal, but I've reached the goal of being able to do my channel and everything that I enjoy doing full time. As far as a finishing goal, I would like to get at least as close to 4,000 subscribers as possible. Some people may think it's crazy, but I think it can be done. So that's one. Possibly reaching 4,000 subscribers. That would be a cool finishing goal to reach for this year. It may be hard, but hey, I'm willing to put in the work. Have I ever played any sports? Yes. When I was younger, I played a little bit of football and I played some basketball as well. And I took part in other types of sports as well, soccer and other things. And yeah, it didn't take me long to realize that I was not good at any of those. It did not take me long to realize that I have hand-eye coordination, but not in the way of playing any sports. I have good aim, but not when it comes to playing sports. Like I'm a horrible shot when it comes to basketball. Don't ask me to play horse because I'm gonna be that horse every single time. But I'm just been bad. I've just never been the type that had an affinity for sports. That, and sometimes people would get hurt around me whenever I took part in sports. If I wasn't hitting people in the face with the ball, I was breaking people's glasses or whatever. I remember one time when I was younger and when I was a kid, I was playing some little tag football with some people, and it was a horrible experience. It was the one and only time I played anything football related, because as soon as I got the ball, I got tackled and dogpiled on by everyone, including this one big kid, big wide kid. And he was on top of the pile, and I just got flattened. I was thinking, no, I don't like getting squished. This is not for me. So yeah, I've played sports, but to say that I've been good at them, yeah, I have not. What would be my favorite Far Cry game? Far Cry 3 and 4. They felt the least amount of convoluted. And then every other game after that just felt like the exact same previous game afterwards. I mean, granted, every Far Cry game is basically the same, just with different settings. But for me, the ones that stuck out the most was Far Cry 3 and 4. Because you hear people, and there's been memes made of Far Cry 3, like, have I ever told you the definition of insanity? Like, everyone loves Voss. He's like one of the most memorable villains in all Far Cry. Him and Pagan Min, I believe. People don't talk about Joseph Seed all that much. And Anton Castillo, people know him because of Giancarlo Esposito, who is a phenomenal actor. But as far as my favorite Far Cry, it's 3 and 4. It's 3 and 4. Because 5 and 6 and New Dawn, it was like I started to really get burnt out on Far Cry games. And Far Cry 6 was the limit. So I am done with anything Far Cry related. I'm sorry, but I've just reached a level of Far Cry burnout that just tells me, you know what? I think we've seen the extent of what Ubisoft wants to do with their Far Cry games. If they go any more Far Cries, I probably won't take part in it because it just gets so monotonous and the same after a while. Plus, I'm far more used to action RPGs that give you a lot more freedom than the latest Far Cry did. Like you guys heard me when I was playing through Far Cry 6 when I told you all that I absolutely hated the way that they have the gear system instead of a level up system, and that it forces you to wear pieces of gear that you may not want to wear for the sake of the skills on it. And things that you could have in previous Far Cry games were put on separate pieces of gear rather than them being passive bonus that you could level up and unlock. So I was not a fan of that, and that kind of brought down my enjoyment of Far Cry 6 as a whole. I mean, I like the story enough. Nah, who am I kidding? I only like the story for Anton. I really only played the game just to see Anton. I couldn't have cared less about any other character in the game. I just wanted to see the signs with Anton Castillo. I only wanted to see his scenes because Giancarlo is that good of an actor. I couldn't care about the rest of the game. I just wanted to see him. That's it. So I only endured it as much as I could. But yeah, back to it. Far Cry 3 and 4. Is Shanks the GOAT or is he the GOAT? Yes. The answer is yes. All right, good to see you, CJ. Do you plan or thought of going traveling or doing an anime gaming convention event and do it on YouTube streaming for it? I've thought about it. It's just that I need to find some places that are having conventions and see if I can attend those as well. Because me and CJ, we've talked about it. Me and CJ, we've talked about conventions and everything. And it's really been CJ asking me if I've ever been to conventions. Because CJ has been to more cons than I ever have. I've been to one that's downtown in my area, but that was years ago. It was years ago. I never been to anything like San Diego Comic-Con or Tokyo Game Show or anything along those lines of an official capacity. But if you're asking if I've thought about traveling, going to conventions, recently when they did the San Diego Comic-Con, I like one of the recent cons where they filled it up to capacity and then said like, hey, you know what? We got this place filled to capacity. No one has to wear any masks. So, the whole social distancing thing and people getting way too close with one another without masks all over their face, it kind of brought down the need and want of going to conventions if they were going to enforce those types of guidelines. They kind of pulled back on it at the last minute. But after seeing images of how packed like sardines people were in the convention, I don't see how anyone can actively enjoy that, just stuffed right next to people trying to shuffle their way through a con in order to enjoy themselves, because some of these cons just be packed with people. Sorry, I had Destiny on my TV, and apparently I was idle so long it brought me back up to the main menu. It's the first time I booted up Destiny in several months, and it's still making me go through the introductory missions for Savathun. But maybe in the future, if I'm able and if I'm freed up enough to do so, because I got a bunch of stuff that I do every week. One Punch Man and Jujutsu Kaisen in the beginning after the end, and then all my gaming streams that I do as well, along with my reactions on Sundays and stuff. So it's like it's a lot that I have to switch around and mix around for that to be a possibility in the future. But I would very much like to attend an actual con and just be like, yo, this is my first Comic-Con or any sort of con like that. I would like to do something like that in the future. Are there any anime or manga series we should be looking forward to me covering in the near or distant future on this channel? Yes, I will be doing Dragon Ball Super on this channel. And Dragon Ball Super, because for one, I have all of the physical volumes on my shelf right now, and I kind of want to do it because someone asked me if I wanted to do it, and I already said yes, I want to go through Dragon Ball Super. So that's on the list. As far as anime, I will be covering Bleach when it releases. I'll be doing my own live reaction to the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. I will be doing like a Qushu views of that. I intend to, because come on, we've all been looking forward to Bleach for a very long time now. It'd be madness if I just enjoyed it to myself. I want to see how these anime episodes pair up to the manga. But then again, Kubo did say that the anime was going to cover more extensively than the manga is, so for all intents and purposes, the 1,000-Year Blood War arc in the anime is going to be a lot more definitive and detailed than the manga pages that we got. So I intend to do that. Dragon Ball Super, going through that series. Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood arc, I intend to go through that one with live reactions. Well, not live reactions, but recording reactions to them. And, I gotta think about the type of series that I bring to my channel. I know people brought up Chainsaw Man, but I want to see how I can fit that in. I don't want to bog myself down with too much. Not that I can't, I can't say anymore that I gotta worry about whether or not I have enough time after I come home from my job. I gotta get some rest from a shift or anything like that. I can't make those excuses anymore. So I technically have more time to work with. It's just that if I have anything else lined up, gaming walkthroughs or playthroughs that I'm going to be doing as well, that's a lot of things that I would have to arrange to make sure that I don't burn myself out with a constant stream of content. Not saying that that's going to happen, but I need to, it's wise to pace yourself so you don't fry your brain from overexposure. So I'll just have to work out how I do everything in the long run before I add it. But I will be adding quite a bit of stuff to the channel. If not anime and manga stuff, then plenty of gaming stuff, because there's going to be a ton that I can add. Have I played Primal? Far Cry Primal? I have it, but I never booted it up yet. It was part of like a sale that was going on. I can't remember if it was a Black Friday sale or some sort of big sale that was going on because of either the Game Awards or something. But I have a ton of games that I haven't played, that I haven't touched, simply because I got them from a sale and I haven't messed with them much. I haven't messed with Okami HD in a while, haven't messed with Odin Leidensphere, I haven't messed with Dragon's Crown Pro, I haven't messed with Far Cry Primal. I got a lot of games, PS4 games, that I bought that I never went through completely yet. So there's a long list. I won't count on me playing them on the channel, but my backlog is already substantial as it is. What's my favorite gaming console? PlayStation 2. As much as I love these other systems and they got great games, the PlayStation 2 is where a vast majority of my childhood played a ton of games. Because after I kind of accidentally fried the insides of my old see-through ice blue Nintendo 64. I was impatient when I was younger, and I kind of didn't listen to my dad when he told me, hey, I need an extension cord before you plug this in. I got impatient, and I tried to plug it into the wall, thinking it was going to work fine, and, it just blew up my Nintendo 64, and I could never use it again, because it basically just fried it from the inside. So after that, PlayStation was the console I played the most, and PlayStation 2 was the console that I played the most stuff on. Like, I remember playing through Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. I even played some very bad PS2 games as well, like a ton of movie games that really were bad. They were really bad on PlayStation 2. Like the first Iron Man game, the Iron Man game from the MCU that got released on the PlayStation 2, and it didn't have the stuff that the Xbox 360 version had. So that was bad. For me, I played the 2008 Hulk game on there. I played, what do I got? Because I still got my PS3 games right here underneath my TV stand here. I remember playing through Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Ooh, one of my actually, I can show you, because I got the original game. Real quick. So, this is just one stack. Oh, and it's dusty too. It tells you just how long it tells you just how long I haven't played any of these. So, Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. I love that game. Hey, Dad, what's going on? Be safe, Dad. SSX on Tour. I have SSX 3. Now, let me go off a little bit about SSX 3. That was the game that got me interested in snowboarding. I never played Tricky, but I played 3, and I would play that game for hours. Literal hours. I would play... My favorite character to play was Griff, because at the time I was very young, and I resonated a lot with Griff when I was younger, and I remember playing with him for so long that I beat all of the other people up the mountain, and I wound up getting a crown for Griff, and I had that. Then I started playing as other characters, and the person I liked playing as after Griff was Simon, because he was just mad crazy, and I was thinking to myself, why is this man so crazy? So that's one game. Wow, that's a lot more dust than I was expecting. Jack 3 and Jack 3 was one of my favorites. I played Jack 3 before I played the first and second ones. Yeah, I played the first and second games after, like, a ton of years after I played Jack 3. And then I remember going over my cousin's house to get Need for Speed Underground 2, and I spent hours. Playing Need for Speed Underground 2 was my very first Need for Speed game. My very first racing game was Burnout Revenge, and I absolutely loved that because I just love running into people and making them crash and watching their cars just explode. I love the mini games of like intentionally driving into traffic and then causing as many explosions as possible. I would spend hours just watching that destruction, and then I played other Burnout games after that. But I believe the highlight of Burnout was Burnout Revenge. And then, of course, God of War. I was introduced to God of War on PlayStation as well, and good God, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. But let me not focus too much on PlayStation 2 because I still got other questions you guys asked me. Let me see. Okay, that was my favorite console. And then Zach says, "Do you think solo leveling is better than the beginning after the end?" Here's the thing. I absolutely adore solo leveling. The whole story of solo leveling was great. Now, I know a lot of people said that there were some things left out of the manhwa because of the differences in the light novel, but for the type of story that it was brought to me as before, I enjoyed solo leveling. I enjoyed Jin, Cha Hei-in, Choi Jong-in, and then Baek Suong, and then Byung-min Gu, and then all these Bing Myung, or is it Bing Myung-gu? Yeah, I think it's Bing Myung-gu. I forget his name, but all these different characters, the setting, the artistry by Dubu. My heart goes out to him. His legacy lives on in the illustrations of solo leveling, and the series as a whole was brought to an even better audience, an even broader audience because of the visuals of it. Because sure, you can picture these characters in the light novel, but when you have someone with the artistry and skill as Dubu, and he drew every single panel, and it was just like, it was mesmerizing. Now, do I think it's better than the beginning after the end? The beginning after the end does have its moments. Like, it does have this moments that reminds me of these big crucial moments that Jin had in solo leveling. But for me, solo leveling is always going to have that place in my heart where it was just an epic story from beginning to finish. Not saying that the beginning after the end is not capable of reaching that point, but I'm still reading through the beginning after the end. Maybe it'll reach that point for me, but for me personally, I feel like I resonate more with solo leveling than I do with the beginning after the end. Not saying that the beginning after the end is bad, it's just that solo leveling has left a bigger impact on me as a whole than what the beginning after the end is currently doing right now. Because solo leveling is a hard act to follow. It's a legendary series. People love solo leveling. But I just have to continue reading and seeing these chapters of the beginning after the end before I give like a final concrete decision on that. What's the next one? Cdes, who you read a read-through of Overlook manga? Are you asking me to do a read-through of the Overlook manga? What is this? Is that the name of a manga? I can't tell. I can't tell. I need to scroll back up because you guys are giving me a lot of questions and I want to get through all of them. CJ says, if you had the skill, interest, and talents, would you ever make your own battle bot? If so, what kind of weapon or tools would it have? I feel like a good tool to have for a battle bot is the ability to flip over another bot. So like maybe a little scoop that can flip them real quick, because not every bot is going to be able to continue running if it's on his back. If it's on his back and it has no way to get back up, then that would be something. So like something that can flip it. If I were to type to actually build a battle bot, I would make something where I can flip it on his back and just, leave it at my mercy. What inspired you to do YouTube? Okay, so the thing that inspired me to do YouTube, and you guys are giving me a lot of questions, and I want to go through them all. What inspired me was when me and my dad were driving home from church one day, and me and him, we usually used to get like snacks on the way home. It became like a father-son tradition where me and my dad would leave from church, and then we would go get some snacks, either a honey bun, a Krispy Kreme honey bun, and some Mountain Dew. And one day my dad was thinking like, you ever thought about getting on YouTube and making a couple of videos? I heard they make a lot of money in that. At the time, I thought that, maybe I could do it. And I didn't think it was going to become as big as it is right now. But back then, I just thought all I had to really do was just get on there, make videos, and then just watch everything roll in. And the way that the policy for YouTube was back then, it was a lot less strenuous or strict with how it did certain things. So it was pretty easy sailing thus far. But my dad was the inspiration. Because I thought about, maybe I could actually be successful on YouTube. But I didn't think of the logistics of it, nor did I think about the long term. I just thought like, it's in the moment. But it wasn't until I started to actually get good at it that I actually started to discover what my talents were and how it revolved around things of this nature. And it started to become, second nature to me to just get up here, speak to all of you on camera, and then it just flowed. Who knew that my dad inspired me to get on YouTube, because that's one way to get famous, actually turned into something that I would consider a career, where I'm just honestly enjoying myself, just simply being able to entertain other people. So had it not been for my dad talking to me on that one Sunday, this channel may not exist. And my family has been supporting me in this endeavor this entire time. So it was possibly one of the best life decisions I ever made. What are my PC specs? I am using a Inspiron 15 7000 gaming laptop. I don't have a PC, like a tower PC with its customizable tower and everything. I don't have that yet. But it's an Inspiron 15 7000 gaming laptop. And it has 4 gig RAM. And it's in i5 7th generation with a GeForce GTX from NVIDIA. So it's a Dell Inspiron 7000 gaming laptop. So it does have its limitations, but it does what I need it to do right now. Until I get myself a more high-end PC where I can do a lot more, including having my face in my future gaming stream videos instead of it just being, you guys hearing my voice. Because the way my laptop is set up right now, I don't think it's powerful enough to run both my face and the game at the same time without it causing massive screen tearing. I told you guys this before, but if you ever wondered why there are certain things I'm just not able to do right now, is because I'm limited by a laptop itself. What was the first manga I ever read? I'm trying to think. It's been years since I first started reading manga as a whole. That's a tough one. I'm trying to remember further back than when I started doing manga reactions, or even well, I got to think back to before I even. Oh, I know. It was the Naruto Shippuden, not the beginning of Naruto, because I wasn't big on continuity of manga. I was reading through Naruto. And it was when Naruto was. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. Cuz I didn't start reading manga until I got back here to the States. Back when I didn't start reading manga until I actually got here to North Carolina. And that was over 10 years ago. Well over 10 years ago. So no. Yeah, it's actually been well over, maybe it might have been well over 15 years ago. Because we've been living in this house for 10 years. So, I can't believe we've been living in this house for 10 years. It's already been a decade already. Where did the time go? It was either Naruto or One Piece. Because I'm not going to say like One Piece was the very first manga that I ever read, because it wasn't. I think it might have been Naruto. Yeah, it might have been Naruto when Naruto was up against Itachi after the time skip. But I can't remember exactly where, but I believe it was Naruto. Before Bleach, before One Piece, I believe I was into Naruto first. Yeah, it was Naruto. I believe it was Naruto. Because I distinctly remember when it was getting further into the Fourth Great Ninja War, a friend of mine and I were reading through it, and then one day I wake up to be ready to read the chapter, and before I even read the chapter, he just sends me a text message going, "It's Obito." And I'm thinking to myself, because at that time, I didn't know that Toby was Obito, and like the man under the mask was Obito. So when I woke up and I was preparing to look for the page, the message pops up on my phone and says, "Dude, it's Obito." And I'm thinking, dude, you couldn't let me have that closure. I'm sure a lot of people think like, well, it's kind of obvious that it's Obito, but there's nothing like the closure of seeing this information for yourself without being told, which is why I'm very big on spoilers. Because sure, you can tell people spoilers all day, but nothing ever compares to seeing this information for your own eyes. And then you can experience either the excitement or disappointment of the revelations. But being told something that you actually wanted to find out, that's crushing. So that's the reason why I'm really big on spoilers of series that I've never seen or done before, game-wise or manga-wise or anything-wise, because I want to have that experience of finding out that information myself. That's the reason why. You guys know why I'm so big on spoilers, because of that one moment when someone spoiled who Toby was. Sure, it may have been obvious to some people, but I wanted the closure of seeing this information on the page. Is there a TV show you really like, and also, are you watching anything currently? TV show-wise, not particularly. I will say this. I liked Game of Thrones up to season 8. I'm pretty sure everyone will agree with me that season 8 was the thing that brought down everything that we really genuinely liked about Game of Thrones, and just destroyed any progression, destroyed any character development, because they just wanted to rush the end of the series. But that was a long time ago. For right now, I wouldn't say I have like a favorite show, but I have been spending a lot of time catching up on a lot of anime. I've been catching up on Overlord. I've been catching up on other anime that I've left off of. So I've really just been making a list of different animes that I haven't watched or haven't seen, and just been watching a whole bunch. I guess I might as well say I've been watching a lot of isekai type animes lately, like the one where all those high school students who are all inhumanly good at their special gifts, like doctor and inventor and congressman and all of them, helping this like otherworldly nation get stronger and grow bigger and everything. I just finished watching through that one and some other ones as well. So I wouldn't say I have like a favorite show, though Invincible was very good. Invincible was very good. I just been catching up on anime this entire time. In my free time, I just been catching up on that. You know, breaking up the monotony of playing games all the time. I just been catching up on that. Dragon Ball Z Budokai on PS2 will always have a special place in my heart. Ooh, my first Dragon Ball game was Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I played through that when I was thinking, wow, so this is the power of Dragon Ball. And then years later, we got Xenoverse, we got Fighter Z, we got Kakarot, and all these other games. And now they're all in Fortnite now, so a whole bunch of things. Do you have or played Need for Speed? I have Need for Speed Underground 2. Need for Speed Underground was so fire, but you didn't have to. 2 was good. What made you finally decide to go full-time in YouTube, and what was that moment like? For me personally, and I know you guys are saying a whole lot down here at the bottom, but I'll catch up. I'm catching up to chat. For me, the decision to go full-time was I got fed up at my job. I got fed up. I was not treated like I was a genuine, I was not treated like a person who knew what they were doing. I was treated like I had to be reminded of stuff that I knew already. And here's the thing, there was a lot of favoritism at my job, especially within the truck team, where we had this one person who was doing HBC, which is like household products and stuff, like medicines and body wash and all those sorts of things. There was favoritism towards that person above all else, while everyone else was just, told to just do their job and not bother much with anything else, especially me. I never got help during doing what I do because I was on the water aisle working at Harris Teeter, and it was very rare for anyone to come over there and help me. When they did, they were either told to by my supervisor, who I couldn't tell if he had it in for me or not, or if he just had like a very stank attitude towards a certain type of people. I can't really say. But when it came down to me getting help every truck, some people would have 2 people down their aisles all the time from the beginning of the truck down to the very end. I never really got that. And then when I brought it up to my supervisor, like, hey, you don't need to tell me how to do my job because I've been doing it since before you got here. And he was very quippy. He was very snarky about it, saying like, well, the fact that I was able to get up your stuff yesterday, which has no bearing on the truck knives as a whole. It says it appears to me that I have to tell you how to do all this stuff over and over again. And mind you, I worked at Harris Teeter longer than my supervisor did. He came in after I started working there. So I've already had like a full year under my belt before he even came in. So I knew what I was doing. And it kind of went on for a bit far too long. And my family knew it. My family knew that I was unhappy, but I just grin and bear it because I have this mentality of I could leave this job right now, but I don't want to be a freeloader who's just sitting up at my family's home because I don't want to work at this job anymore. I have this sensibility in me, and I don't want to leave this place just for the sake of leaving it, and then I'm not doing anything while I'm here. I refuse to be a freeloader. I refuse to, put that type of burden on my parents and the rest of my family just simply because I want to leave this place. So that's one of the reasons why I had to bide my time for a little bit. I had to bide my time and wait on the right moment for me to leave, because it was already coming to a head. We were already, me and the supervisor were already butting heads. And me, I just go there, I do my job, I don't bother anybody, and I just work. I just work there. Moving water, moving entire pallets by myself, having to deal with him, speaking condescendingly to me, and him sending people behind me just to make sure I didn't mess anything up as if I didn't know how to do my own job. I just grin and bear it, kept my thoughts to myself. There were plenty of moments where I could have gone off on him and told him about himself, but it was not worth it. It was not worth it at the end of the day, and I wasn't about to break character because someone who never worked with me, now mind you, my supervisor never worked with me at all. It's not my fault that he doesn't know how I work because he's never actually worked alongside me. Everyone else has, except for him. So I can't blame him for behaving the way he was because he didn't know how I worked as a person. So I had to wait. I had to wait until I had saved up enough that I could pinch off of for me to pursue this on my channel. I had to take the necessary measures to make sure that, hey, I at least had some income coming in while I was doing YouTube before I made the decision to fully leave. Because I didn't want to just run out all half-cocked. And I remember making community messages saying like, oh, I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to do it that time. But those times, things just didn't add up, and they didn't meet where I wanted them to meet in order for me to just say goodbye to Harris Teeter and then dedicate my time to this full time. So it took some waiting. It took a lot of patience, about like 3 years of patience. Actually, you know what? The motive for me to go full time on YouTube was my previous supervisor. His name was Henry. Now, when I did voices at work, he told me, you are wasting your time here. Those words stuck into my head while I worked 2 more years in Harris Teeter after he said that. After both he and the other supervisor that worked on our truck teams, who were phenomenal, by the way, they kept a tight ship, they both left, but Henry was the one that said, hey, man, you need to, whatever you're doing with that talent of yours, you need to do something about it because this place here is not for you. Do not let your talents waste away at a place like this. And those words stuck with me, but I never got around to trying to make something of it. So it wasn't until this recent July when I said, you know what? If I don't step out on faith, if I don't do this right now and just pursue it with every ounce of my soul, I will never leave. So I left. And now here I am running this channel full time. And I can't say I've ever been happier doing anything else. But the moment I left, it was a Friday night. It was a Friday night, final truck, working with people, certain people I'm friends with. They were saying like, man, I hate to see you go. Those people they've left the store as well. So who knows how many people they still got on the truck team since so many people left. It was surreal, but it was also peaceful. And when it was time for me to go, I left as soon as I was done doing my job. I clocked out and I walked out the door. That supervisor I said I had trouble with, he was out there, taking his usual smoke break, but he was out there. I didn't look at him. I just walked past everybody. I walked past everyone, got in my car, went home, and I was just a smile on my face. Came home, laid down, and then turned all my alarms off because I had alarms set for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because I took off Saturday and Sunday as unavailable days because there were times when I would almost be late for band practice at my church since I'm a band member there because of how late the trucks would get. But it took a moment for me to turn off those alarms and realize that I would never be waking up to that late night alarm again. It was surreal, but it was peaceful. And every night I've been sleeping since I left Harris Teeter has been absolutely great. Never have it's because I was so used to waking up at like 9 something to be at a shift at 10 that could last anywhere from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning, that following morning. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can go to sleep when I want to. That feeling, Shonen Sensei, is absolute bliss. It's amazing. The freedom to not have to cut away moments I can have with my family with dinner, or moments where I could just lay down when it becomes late at night, and instead of worrying about it, it's surreal and it's great. Do I take manhwa recommendations, or are you set on reading what I want? Karma, I do in fact do take recommendations, because I actually have a list of manhwa that's been suggested to me. The Beginning After the End was the reason why I'm pursuing The Beginning After the End right now, is because it was recommended to me, because they said it kind of reminds you of Solo Leveling a little bit. If anything, Solo Leveling as a manhwa was suggested to me too, because I didn't know anything about manhwa as a whole before Solo Leveling. So all the manhwa that's been suggested to me, all the manhwa that I've read and done on this channel, well, it's only been 2 thus far, has been recommended to me. So I do take manhwa recommendations. I mean, I do have a separate list that people had me take down. What am I? Okay, but yeah, that's. I have no problems with recommendations, especially if they pique my interest, and I have absolutely no problem reading different types of manhwa other than Solo Leveling and The Beginning After the End. Shonen Sensei, what are my thoughts on the name changes and setting change from Seoul to Tokyo in the upcoming anime adaptation of Solo Leveling? I still don't understand the change. Because if people are going by the thoughts of, the series of Solo Leveling is making people from Japan look bad and they're seen as the bad guys, these people are kind of misconstruing that, and kind of missing the point that it's not just Japan who is doing bad things in Solo Leveling. Like, you have people from America who want to do something nefarious. You got people from other countries who want to do something nefarious. I feel like it doesn't make any sense for them to change the setting of Solo Leveling from Korea to Japan. Because when you think about it, the reason why it works in the original series is that every country has its own divvied up type hunters. You got the Korean hunters, you got the Japanese hunters, you got the American hunters, you got the Canadian hunters, you got all these different types of hunters from different groups that weren't too packed together with two groups from the same country again. So if they're changing it from Seoul to Tokyo in the upcoming anime, then it's just going to feel like they're double dipping into Japan again by having the setting be in Japan. And then how's that going to be for Ryu Goto and his team? And then you got it. It just feels like it's just too much. It feels unnecessary. Like, have they given a reason why they changed it from Seoul to Tokyo? Is it because of outcry? Because they think it's making Japan look bad? If they said it in Japan, then it kind of makes them look bad for calling out something that was unnecessary. Jin is Korean. It's set in Korea. Everyone else is just adding on to the world building of it all. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Seoul to Tokyo. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Zach says, who's my favorite protagonist? From any series or anime or manga? Who is my favorite protagonist? Oh, what you mean is manga that's not popular, not in the popular rank, but has good story that many people overlooked. I haven't checked. I haven't checked out that type of manga, those types of manga quite yet. I'm sure there's a list for them, but I haven't. I probably haven't seen anything in that list. Who's my favorite protagonist? That's hard. That's a hard decision. That's a very hard decision. I can't just make a singular decision on who's my favorite protagonist. And I'm just now realizing with the way I'm leaning, it's just going to make it seem like. Actually, hold on. Let me turn this way. So that way. Yeah, there we go. I can sit back and you guys can still see what's going on. Okay, good. I can't, any series, I can't make a definitive decision because there's a lot of protagonists that I resonate with. Like, I love Midoriya, I love Luffy, I love Saitama, I love Yuji. So there's a lot of different types of protagonists that I like, but I can't center on my above all else, beat all protagonist. And that's just manga and anime. Ooh, John Wick is in my top 10. John Wick is in my top 10 because the John Wick series is a great movie series, and it does so well with letting, the viewers themselves piece together what they know about one singular character, and it just makes them that much more awesome. I mean, watching through John Wick and how everyone responds to his name, and he doesn't really talk all that much. He usually responds by, yeah, or uh-huh, or just like simples. He doesn't need to talk too much to get his point across, but the stories surrounding him just paint this picture that he's an absolute legend. And then when you see him in action, it's like, wow, it's not just hearsay, it's actual stuff he's done. And then when you see just how much stuff he's been through, and yet everyone still fears him, and he's just trying to relax. He's like a really good character. So John Wick is one of my favorites. John Wick is one of my favorites. Have I checked out Caleb City yet? Who's that again? Is that a YouTuber by any hand? By any chance? Caleb City. Oh, him. Oh, I know him. I know who you're talking about. I've seen a bunch of his videos. One of my coworkers told me that I kind of remind them of him a little bit in the way that I behaved at work when she used to work there. She's no longer there now because she got married and she moved to another state. But I know who Caleb City is. He's a cool dude. He's cool. Yo, Gaudio, what's going on? D-Train says, what makes you love One Piece so much? I love One Piece because, it's one of the first series, the first animes that I've ever watched. Well, actually, one of the first animes I ever watched was the original Pokemon series from the 90s. And I watched a little bit of that, then a little bit of Dragon Ball Z after that. But One Piece was the anime series I jump-started on. Mind you, it was the 4Kids dub. It was the first anime series that I stuck with for an exceedingly long period of time. Now, mind you, at the time I had never realized that there was Japanese audio with anime, or realized where anime even came from. I just thought it was something that appeared in America and it looked really cool. But I never understood the concept of subs. I never understood the concept of, the uncensored, unfiltered versions of animes when it comes to, showing blood and all sorts of things on national television. I got introduced to One Piece through the 4Kids dub, and I just loved the insanity of it all. Because there's a lot of animes out there you can watch, and it's pretty normal, to some degree, but I've never watched an anime series or a whole series where its main character was just so ludicrously insane and yet treated as normal. Like the dude fell off a mountain when he faced off against Django, and he just fell into the ground, and you pull him out and he's fast asleep because it did no damage to him at all. And the craziness of his gum powers and everything connected to him. It's the insanity of One Piece that kept me going with the series. Just the ludicrousness of it all. And I was thinking, wow, the only thing that's actually crazier than One Piece is Bobobo. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know the type of anime I'm talking about because whatever that show was, it was the most randomest stuff, just chock full of crazy in every single episode. Bobobo. This super tall dude with a blonde afro that fights using his nose hairs, and it was like, what am I even watching? It was crazy just watching that anime. But One Piece, I love it because it's so crazy, and yet the story is still so good. You would think that something that's so crazy, it'd be hard to piece it all together, but Oda does that professionally and masterfully and ties everything together. And since he's done with his preparations, the next thing we're going to be getting from One Piece is just revelation after revelation after revelation. And that's why I'm also looking forward to tomorrow's chapters, because we are coming off a break, so it's going to be interesting seeing where One Piece goes from here, but I just love the insanity of the series. I absolutely love it. Did I already do the Street Fighter 6 style face expressions? Did I miss it? Did you ask for it? The heck? How did I miss that? Did someone ask for that? This is the first time I've ever seen that pop up in here. What in the world? I didn't see. Did I already do the Street Fighter 6 style facial expressions? Ain't nobody asked me to do those facial expressions. Let me see all this stuff. You guys are saying quite a bit. I need to catch up. I need to catch up the chat. What do I rate Wano so far? I give it like a 9.5 out of 10. Because there's just so many great things in Wano that's happened thus far that basically have blown our minds absolutely. So I rate the Wano country arc, the Wano arc, incredibly high. It is one of the best arcs that One Piece has ever seen, and I'm looking forward to the next few chapters. I mean, the stuff about Odin, the real meaning of open Wano's borders, all these different things with Kaido and Big Mom and Luffy, the new bounties, the new everything concerning after Wano, the Reverie, the events of the Reverie, what's going on with the Marines. So much stuff being in Wano that I feel like it hasn't. You would think that with all the stuff that we've known in and learned in Wano, that it'd be chock full of stuff that is like, wow, this is a really bloated arc. But it doesn't feel like it's overstuffed. That's why I like the Wano arc so much. So much stuff put into the arc itself, but not too much to the point where it feels like, okay, this is a bit much. You might need to dial it back, Oda. It's never felt like that to me, at least to me personally. How's it going? It's going good, Goblin. What part of Germany did I live in? You lived in Bitburg before moving to Spangenhelm. Spandalem. Me and my family, I hope I'm saying that right. Spangdalem. Yeah, Spangdalem. Me and my family, we first lived in Birkenfeld. And then we lived in Baumholder on an army base. Birkenfeld was quite beautiful, but we were like inside this residential apartment building complex, and you couldn't see too much around the area because on one side it had like tons of trees, and then the other side it was just like residential German buildings. We lived in an area where the 90% of the people that lived there spoke German, except for some of the tossed in few between American people in there. But Bomb Holder is when you got more English speaking people, but with hints of German people in there as well. Both were beautiful, but Bomb Holder I remember more because that's where we spent most of our years, and I had a lot of memories in Germany. I know I brought this up before. I had a lot of memories in Germany, a lot of crushes. So I had a fun time in Bomb Holder. If I ever get the chance to go back to Germany and see Bomb Holder as it is right now, I would say 15 or 20 years later since we left, I would love to go back. You and me both, buddy. Ni no Kuni anime. Never seen the Ni no Kuni anime. Am I excited for the Avatar movie? I don't know if you like Avatar: The Last Airbender, but they're making a movie where Aang and the gang are all grown up. Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the greatest animated shows of all time. That is, you cannot dispute that at all. So I'm actually looking forward to this new movie. But I hope the creators are, getting a part of this series, part of this process as well, because they tried to do that with the live action Avatar series, and the original creators of Avatar clashed with the people making the show, and the original people left. The original creators left. So now I'm thinking, if you don't have the original creators with you, what are you going to do? So my interest in the live action Avatar TV series dropped as soon as the creators dropped out. Because, I mean, who would know how to do Avatar: The Last Airbender better than the people that created the show? So that's my opinion on that. But I am excited to see the next one and see what they do. Am I excited for Kung Fu Panda 4? They're making another one? How many more of these are they going to make? I really hope they're not going the Minions route, because everyone's tired of Minions. I'm pretty sure everyone is very much tired of Minions. One thing about DreamWorks movies is you don't want it to go on for too long, otherwise it becomes too desaturated. Too much. It's too saturated, and then it becomes like, okay, we've kind of seen it all. What more can you go from here? But if they're doing another Kung Fu Panda, we'll just have to see. What is that trumpet of mine made out of? Should be brass, but it's colored black. But it has some rubbed off parts because, I've been playing all these years. I've played it so long that I've actually rubbed off different sections for my hands over extended use. It's a Cecilio brand trumpet, so it should be brass. And Psych, good to see you as well. Hi, hello to you as well. And Gage Hooper, you sound happier now. Oh, I am much happier. So much happier. I'm still trying to catch up. I am almost caught up with you guys. What is my honest opinion of the drink Sunny D? You're drinking it right now. It tastes all right, but it's not going to be my first choice for orange juice, though. Wait, is Sunny D orange juice? Or is it just like an orange drink? But yeah, Sunny D is all right to me. Who's my favorite antagonist? All for One. All for One, then underneath him, Palpatine, then Vader. And then underneath Vader, Agent Smith. And that's just like anime and movie antagonist. But antagonist-wise, All for One is just beyond scary. Changing Sung Jin Woo's name is very sad. Shun Mizushino doesn't hit the same. Wait, that's Jin's name? What? That's Jin's new name that they switched around? Sung... That's his name? The reason they gave for the changes is to appeal to a Japanese audience. What? That's... Why? Why? Shun. Or is it Shun? Shun Mizushino. That's stupid. Okay. Okay, I don't know. I don't know about the solo leveling anime because Mizushino does not hit the same way as Sung Jinwoo. Shun Mizushino doesn't roll off the tongue like Sung Jinwoo. It's just 3 syllables. Shun Mizushino. It's already a mouthful. Sung Jinwoo is a far better choice. Who's my favorite character from any media? Like I said, it is very hard for me to pinpoint who's my absolute favorite character because there's so many that fit that bill. There's so many characters that could fit that bill. What's my favorite character from any media? Hulk. Above all else, whenever I think of the Hulk, it's like, because as a young kid, I absolutely loved the Incredible Hulk. Wait, no, not Hulk. Spider-Man. Out of everyone, Spider-Man is my favorite character from any media. I was raised on Spider-Man. Spider-Man was my very first superhero that I ever seen. I remember seeing magazines with Spider-Man on it. I remember pretending to be Spider-Man and pretending to crawl up the wall. One day my sister saw that and they still won't let me live that down. Spider-Man just was awesome to me. That's the reason why I love Spider-Man and all of his games so much, is because he's one of my favorite superheroes that I was pretty much raised on. Like, Spider-Man was there when I wasn't even 10 years old. Before I discovered who Thor was, Iron Man, Captain America, or anyone, this Spider-Man was there first. So out of every character that has ever existed in any media, Spider-Man will have a place with me as the end-all, beat-all favorite of mine. So much of my life has changed because of Spider-Man, and as a whole, it's really like the way Spider-Man is, how he never gives up, and even though he has like the crappiest luck out of everyone in the entire Marvel universe, the dude still keeps going. So he's one of, if not the absolute favorite character of any media that I like. So yeah, for Spider-Man, that's it. Do I read any American comics or just manga and manhwa? No, I do read some American comics. I do read a ton of Marvel comics. I've been reading the recent Hulk chapters and Thor chapters. Like, I read through the entire series of Thor when he became the Herald of Galactus, and then saw it lead up to this moment where he pretty much lost all sense of who he was and just kind of lost any drive to do anything more with his life after seeing a future where Thanos was leading an army of Marvel zombies through the city of New York with a destroyer armor on one arm combined with the Infinity Stones, and then wielding Mjolnir in the other hand. So that's what's going on with Thor and Marvel. And then we had the whole Hulk versus Thor fight, which pretty much culminated in an absolutely monstrous conclusion. And then with Bruce Banner and the Hulk dealing with the fact that he's kind of almost, he's trying to find a place where he won't hurt anybody, so he's going to the farthest reaches of space and time and reality and all that stuff in order to get away from other people. So there's a lot of things happening in Marvel. Outside of that, I haven't really touched on DC all that much, because I'm more of a Marvel dude. Not saying that DC is bad or anything, but I resonate more with Marvel than I do with DC. So I haven't really caught up with them. But yeah, I do keep up with American comics and the like, but only if they're good. Not every American comic is good. They'll try to tell you that it's good, but I try to avoid the ones that have like a bad rap and they're justifiably avoided by all people. Because I'm not going to read anything like The Daughter of Starfire or whatever. I'm not going to read Chinese Batman or Chinese high school Batman, because it just reeks of wokeness, and I only have so much brain space, and I'd rather put it towards something I would like to remember. So I don't read every American comic, but only the ones that interest me and those that are good. Spangolum. Pronounced Spangolum? Spangolum? What else? Caleb City looks a lot alike too. Can you check out Hell's Paradise? It's underrated. I'll add it to my list, Zach. Oh, you mentioned it during one of my last Breath of the Wild streams. I thought you were talking about the other characters doing it. I don't remember you asking me if I could do one of the expressions. Like, I ain't doing no pouty face. I don't do pouty faces, man. Shonen Sensei, what are your biggest pet peeves for One Piece? For example, some people aren't crazy about the art style or pacing or the direction certain arcs took. Is there anything like that for you? For me, one of my biggest pet peeves is if a fight that we know can go a shorter amount of time drags on for way too long. An example of this is in Wano. How many chapters did we spend in Wano just seeing Raizo and Fukurokuju just standing there in that one spot? More than it should have taken, where they were just standing there. Now, I know the message that Oda was trying to put was like, if he can endure the heat of the Hour of Legends with Odin, then he can endure this fire that's surrounding him and Fukurokuju until it's time for one of them to, either die from getting burned to death or the like. But I just felt like it took so long for us to see that conclusion. And it was just them standing in one space. It was just them standing in one place the whole time. So some pacing for the fights could end sooner. Like, there's nothing worse than seeing the fight go on and then it keeps going for like 50 chapters. Like, if there's a resolution, bring it to that resolution. I know everything has its place, but you don't want to keep people bogged down with the same fight for too long. And I say this as I'm reading through My Hero Academia, where we keep cutting back to, Shigaraki versus everyone and All for One versus everyone. But that's cutting in between the current thing that's going on between them. And that's actually a shorter amount of time that's passing. We're just seeing, minutes pass. But some fights in One Piece could go a little bit better. Me personally, I don't have an issue with the pacing. But at the same time, if it doesn't drag on for too long, then I don't have an issue with it. I'm not going to complain about the direction that the story goes in because I'm not Oda. It's not my place to complain about a story that I have no control over, about how it doesn't go how I think it should have gone. If that was the case, I'd be writing the story instead of Oda. People really need to understand that you can't blame Oda for going in a direction that you didn't want it to go. It's not our story, it's Oda's story. Whatever direction he wants to take it in, regardless if he's seen theories or not, and regardless if people are putting theories out there, it's not for us to decide. I know people don't like to hear that sort of thing, and they can complain and moan and groan all day that they want to, but this is Oda's story. We're just along for the ride to enjoy it. But we have no way of ever affecting how he does his story because he already knows how he wants to do it. So that's just how I feel about it. I feel like certain fights could be paced a little bit better and not drag on for too long. And certain story aspects should not linger too long on one singular aspect. The creators got their own studio for everything Avatar, Studio Avatar. Okay, I was just asking. Orange Drink, what about Dr. Doom? Oh, he's a good antagonist as well. Sunny D ingredients, sugar, water, orange. I assume you all heard of the name changes. Biak is now Taiga. Some of the stuff is pretty egregious. Wait. Bayek is now called Taiga? Literally tiger? That's a little bit on the nose, isn't it? Zach says, who's my favorite side character? Favorite side character? Would Shikamaru count as a side character? Would Shikamaru be classified as a side character? I can't decide. If he is, then my favorite is Shikamaru because the dude may be lazy, but he's possibly one of the smartest people in the entire Naruto series. And he hides it because he just doesn't want to do the work. For side character, my personal fave is Levi from Attack on Titan. He's a side character turned to main character. And Rith says, have I watched Breaking Bad? I remember watching the first episode, but I never watched the entire series. But I know why people regard it so highly, though. Sure you heard about what DC is planning to do with Bruce Wayne, Batman in the comics? What are my thoughts about that and the general pivot towards wokeness that's been pervasive in comics lately? What are they doing with Batman? And Destruct, we don't know this. We don't know the end result on it. We just have to see. I'm not going to say anything because, I'm going to wait until my reaction tomorrow to the newest chapter of My Hero Academia. So we're just going to have to see. We're just going to have to see where things go from here. So I can't say anything about Bakugo and MHA because I want to read the newest chapter tomorrow when it officially drops. What's going on? And I actually caught up to everybody. I managed to catch up to you guys in about like an hour. I managed to catch up to you guys. That's good. But CJ, what do you mean? What are they doing with Batman in the comics? Oh, never mind. I know what you're talking about. I heard about that. And I'm just wondering why. Like, what's the purpose? Who do you think is stronger, Luffy or Deku? No, they're essentially going to make Bruce buy in a comics retcon. For what purpose? You need spoilers from MHA. Haven't read like past 50 chapters. Is Bakugo seriously or a live situation? Destruct! I don't know. Like, something happened in the last chapter, but given the fact that I have to be careful what I say here because, and no one, if you read My Hero Academia chapters early, don't say it here, in here, because I want to be able to experience these chapters for myself when I go through these chapters itself. But I can't really say if it's official or not because we don't know the official end result of it at the end of the day. We don't know. So I'm not going to say anything regarding My Hero Academia until I look at the latest chapter. I just simply can't do that. I don't want to put any theories out there, and I got to be careful because some people read the chapters early, and I don't want to know. So I can't give you a definitive answer on where Bakugo is as far as, a life or death situation. I don't know where. And I'm not going to try and look it up for myself. Thought your friend was joking. Destruct, I can't say anything. I can't say anything at all because I don't know the official confirmation myself. Hopefully we get some answer in the newest chapter or whatever, but I'm going to cover that once I do my reaction tomorrow. So that's all I can give you because, I got to be real careful. You never know who may be lurking in here. So I don't want you to be spoiled on that, and I don't want to be spoiled before I read it. So That's all I can say towards that. But back to CJ. Spicy Missile, hi, welcome to the Q&A. I've managed to catch up to everyone's questions. So far so good. But CJ, I'm kind of wondering. The purpose behind this retcon for Batman. Oh, for what purpose is it? Why? And why is it being done? Is it being done because you see this as a good character development, or are you just doing that because you just want to get more people on board with buying your comics if it centers onto one demographic? Do you think Gojo and Sukuna can beat the My Hero verse? Yes. They're just that strong. Because knowing what I know about Sukuna alone, at least what I've read from the physical volumes, because I haven't caught up to the newest chapters of Jujutsu. Next week is going to be me catching up to the 16th volume of Jujutsu, and then afterwards I'll be able to catch up to the rest of the chapters themselves. What I know of Sukuna himself could take on the entirety of the My Hero verse. Just him alone. That's how strong he is. Gojo and Sukuna would just devastate the entire planet. And that includes All For One. Sukuna would absolutely demolish All For One. What I know from Sukuna from the recent chapters I've read, he would absolutely destroy All For One without question. Gojo would as well. If I were stuck on an island with only one volume to read, what series would it be and what volume? Let's see. I still got this Kingdom Hearts 3 full-size poster sitting up here. It's a cloth poster, but actually, you know what, Rith is... That's actually a... You know what? That's actually a good one. I don't have the 19th volume of Demon Slayer. I still need to work on getting all the missing manga that I'm missing. But the Demon Slayer chapter where we got the Kokushibo fight, that's actually a really good one. Demon Slayer had some fantastic volumes. All the, especially of the upper 12 Kizuki, those were actually really good fights. Akaza and Kokushibo, and then the ending with Muzan. Those were really good volumes, but I have to choose one. The one with Kokushibo fight, I have to agree with Rift there. Have I done a manga collection tour? I have not. But I can do this. So, I can tell you what I do have. I have, and because I got good eyes, I can see the small numbers. I can see the small numbers of the volumes themselves. So, on my shelf, on my white, because I got a white bookshelf, on my white bookshelf, I have volume 1, 2, and 3, and then 46 all the way until the end of Bleach. I have volumes 22 and... Volumes 22 and 23 of Demon Slayer. I need to work backwards. I have all of the volumes of Dragon Ball Super 1 through 16. I am working on Fire Force because I want to check out that series. I enjoyed the Fire Force anime. It's one of the best animes out there in terms of artistic and sound design. You can't tell me that whoever was doing the sound design for Fire Force didn't get a raise, because every sound effect from Fire Force was phenomenal in the anime. Currently going through that, I have volumes 1 through 6. Then I have all physical volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen 0 through 16. I have every current volume of My Hero Academia, volumes 1 through 30? Hold on. 1 through 31. I have volumes 1 through 31. One through 31. I have 1 through 23 of One Punch Man. I have volumes. I have the entire Shippuden of Naruto. So the beginning at 28 all the way until 72. I have volumes 1 to 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 35, 37, and then 39 all the way until 100 of One Piece, and then all four current volumes of Solo Leveling at the moment. Yeah, that's all the manga I have. So needless to say, well over 100, possibly 150, maybe even 200 volumes. And it's increasing. So, because I don't like to leave manga unfinished. I don't like to have one part of a manga and not have the beginning of it. So that's the reason why I'm working backwards with One Piece, which I almost have everything for. I'm going to work backwards from Demon Slayer. I'm going to work on getting the rest of the volumes of Fire Force, and then work on getting the rest of the volumes for Bleach. Because I want to have everything full so I can read it from beginning to end. Hey, Qushu, what was that question earlier? Whose name was changed to Taiga? Apparently, a lot of character names are being changed for the anime adaptations of Solo Leveling. So characters like Sung Jin Woo is being called Shun Mizushino, and then you have Bayek, who's being simply called Taiga. You know, a bit on the nose. He's essentially being called Tiger in the Japanese adaptation. Have I read Uzumaki? I've heard of Uzumaki. Actually, hold on. Oh, I knew I seen this before. I was in GameStop one day and they had Uzumaki as a shirt. That's the one where it has those weird horror designs, like spirals that burrow into people's faces, and what is it, like it says it's like a seinen horror manga series. Junji Ito. But I've never read it. Not too big. Not too big, unlike the whole bunch of horror manga. Never been too big on that, but I know of it. At the very least, I know of it. What the heck? Why? I mean, I guess the Japanese VAs can't pronounce their names well, but still, man, that sucks. I know. It makes absolutely no sense. If they have a Korean language and they keep the characters' names the same as well, if they have a Korean language, I'm more than likely, because someone asked me if I was gonna watch it either in Japanese or in the Korean language as well. I'm trying to find out who was it that said that to me. Someone said something about it if they put it in the different languages. Someone said it. Shonen Sensei actually said that after the favorite antagonist question. Am I going to watch the Solo Leveling anime in the Japanese or Korean dub? More than likely Korean. I want to keep it as close to the source material as possible, making everyone sound Japanese for the sake of it being made for a Japanese audience, even though the setting is clearly set in Korea. I'd be doing it a disservice, so I'm probably going to look at it in Korean. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. I'm still going to be watching it in subtitles. If I could voice any character you wanted, who would it be and why? I thought about wanting to do the voice of Katakuri, but I feel with like the way my tone is and the way it is sometimes, it may not have been a good fit. That and if well, someone has already been recruited to be the voice of Katakuri in the English dub of One Piece, so that's currently out of the window. So, and then someone thought about me being the voice of Father Pucci from JoJo, but then Young Yeah got the role, so that's out of the window. So it's I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I do have a bit of a range, so I could basically try my hand at anyone, I guess. I mean, like I said, I could try my hand at anyone. I don't have anyone specifically down pat for who I would want to absolutely voice. I'd just be ready for whoever, most likely. At least that's how I feel about it. I wonder. Ooh! I got someone. If they ever do the English dub of Bleach, I could either do Gremmy Thamo, or Kilgi Opie from Bleach. I could do some characters from Bleach if I wanted to. Cause Kilge Opie is a German man who's there in Hueco Mundo. Took down both Tia Halibel and Oliver Fraction. But his voice, it has to be condescending to the denizens of Hueco Mundo. Creepy, you say, of this form of mine. That is the correct reaction. For in the eyes of any barbaric and... or what is it? For in the eyes of any barbaric and... something Shinigami. For in the eyes of any barbaric and lowly Shinigami, this would be like... I would like to voice Kilgi Opie, because I feel I can get the German accent right for this character, in order to make him sound condescending enough. And then you got Gremmy Thamo, who's a dude who basically can cause his imagination to become real, like suck you into the void of space, summon meteors, make endless clones of themselves, just create endless bullets. He'd be crazy. Oh man, you look strong. How about I eradicate you with all these bullets? I don't know what this type of weapon is, but it seems that it'll be fun. I want to win. This is the first time I ever wanted to win in a fight before. Like the craziness of this dude who is able to bring his imagination to life. I wouldn't mind voicing him. Who's my favorite? Who am I going to pull in for the next version of Genshin? Zhongli and Ganyu are getting a rerun. There's Tainari, a new 5-star too. Well, I already have Zhongli, so I don't need to worry about trying to pull him. So I don't know. Granted, I still have a ton of catching up to do in Genshin. Like, we're getting a whole brand new region after Inazuma, and I am nowhere near unlocking Inazuma yet. So I got a lot of content to keep me occupied until I actually reach this new region called Sumeru. So yeah, I wouldn't count on me trying to actually pull for anyone. Because like I said, when it comes to Genshin, I'm not the person that's just going to hop on the bandwagon of trying to pull and pay for try and buy some Primo gems just so I can get a new person. I'm not that big on that. Like, I'm in no rush to try and get whoever's brand new unless I absolutely want him or want them. But that's just a really big if. That's a really big if. So we'll see. If he doesn't say Kokushibo, I'm out. Ooh, Kokushibo's actually a really good one. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up Kokushibo and some lines of his. Because I know a lot of people liked it. When I did it in the past, I know a lot of people liked my Kokushibo voice. When I did it in the past. When I did this originally. The ugliness of not admitting defeat even though they took my head, chopped me up and crushed me. Living in disgrace. Have I lived hundreds of years for this?
Was I so afraid of defeat that I became a monster? Did I want to be strong even if it meant eating people? Did I become this miserable creature because I didn't want to die? No, Yoriichi. I just wanted to be you.
Like, he has a lot of good lines.
Akaza's presence is gone. He has fallen. Akaza, weren't you going to defeat me? A path had opened for him to attain further heights, but he renounced it himself. How exceedingly weak.
Like, he has a lot of good lines in the series. I mean, no one said anything about buying Primos. I know, but at the same time, I don't want to go for. I don't have anyone that I really want to go for. That's basically what I'm saying. There's no one on this listing that screams that I need to get this person, and even if I don't get it with paid Primos or anything like that, I don't know. Also, we're getting the Dendro Archon in 3.1 or something. Which JoJo's Part 7 characters do you think you could pull off? I haven't caught up to JoJo Part 7, so I can't really give an answer on that, CJ. I know. I've been slacking. I really have. Actually, I do need to catch up on JoJo because I'm still in Golden Wind during the events of Guido Mista when they had like that stand user that could force a rock to follow them. I stopped watching JoJo, so I haven't really caught up to the newest part yet. So that's something I actually have to binge watch when I get the chance. So I'll probably catch up then. But I can't say who yet because I want to watch the series and see these new characters myself. So I will get back to you after I fully catch up and see where the series stands, and then I'll go from there. That's a promise. Kenjiro Suda for Japanese VA, Qushu for English VA. You're too kind. If I ever got a role in Demon Slayer, that would be sick. If I got a role in anything, that'd be sick. Just overall. Let's just be honest here. Took your headphones off as soon as you mentioned what part you were on, since you're just now watching JoJo. Oh, don't worry. I won't say anything else. Don't worry, I didn't drop any major spoilers or anything like that. Or anything major, because I kind of just said what was going on in like the intro of it. And I can't even remember the conversation that was going on about this one particular stand user or the circumstances surrounding them. I kind of forgot. It's been that long. But yeah. Goku versus Saitama hand-to-hand combat. See, Zach, I'm going to have to get back to you on that because I'm still reading through my volumes of One Punch Man, and I have not caught up to the current series. It's what I'm currently doing every Wednesday until I actually catch up to all of the chapters of One Punch Man. Same I'm doing for Jujutsu. Once I catch up on everything, then I'll be able to answer these questions about Goku and Saitama or Sukuna and all these different characters in Jujutsu or Gojo or whoever. I want to catch up so I know where I stand, so when I gauge their powers against other people, I can be like, yeah, that person's going to win, or that person's going to win. I want to catch up first before I give any answer to Goku versus Saitama. Oh yeah, since Zach mentioned Saitama, did you see that One Punch Man Season 3 got announced? Yes, and since the anime is not out yet, this is the perfect opportunity for me to fully catch up to One Punch Man before it premieres. So that way, I can be fully caught up with the manga and see what changes the manga has, or see what changes the anime has compared to the manga. So that's why I'm working as hard as I can to fully catch up. But yeah, I'm happy. We're getting another One Punch Man season. Hopefully we go back to the animation style of the first one, because even though the second one, I enjoyed it, it didn't have that season 1 flair as far as the illustrations and animation didn't have that much. It didn't have that flair. In the case of Part 7, mostly read, although there are a few voice manga videos on here. By the way, still waiting on my Chainsaw Man read-through. Don't worry, it's on the list. It's all good, Rith. It's all good. Chainsaw Man is on the list as well. Dragon Ball Super and Chainsaw Man. So many people suggested Chainsaw Man to me and told me that it was quite good. So I'll look into it. Like I said, we got to work it into the channel in a way that it doesn't, conflict with anything else that I'm doing. Also, who was that just popped in here? But overall, these are some good questions. I'm actually glad I did this Q&A stream. Did I see the Chainsaw Man trailer? If not, could you react to it now? It's like a minute long or two. I have seen the trailer, and it looks really interesting. The concept of a person having chainsaws literally in his arm. Like, I don't know the specifics of it. Is it in a way where it doesn't cut into his arm, or is it just like coming out of his arm forcefully? And when he revs it up, it's like cutting through his arm. If that's the case, that's scary. And I can already tell this is going to be a gory series because you don't introduce a person called Chainsaw Man with chainsaw on his arms and it not be, slicing and dicing people apart. So, you know what? I'm actually kind of looking forward to reading through Chainsaw Man. It's coming out. Okay. Just the concept of a chainsaw inside of a person's arm revving up and moving, and then it's cutting into their arm at the same time, that's gotta hurt. Unless it functions the way that Wolverine's claws function when his claws come out. But yeah. When you start a chainsaw, you pull on a cord, he has that on his chest, he pulls on that and then transforms. Okay. Okay, no more about Chainsaw Man. No more about Chainsaw Man. Let me read on the manga itself. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything important, because people like to send me messages and stuff. Also, I put it in the Discord. A new gameplay video popped up for Black Myth Wukong, and it looks even better than before. The frame rate is phenomenal. The gameplay is phenomenal. When I tell you I look forward, it's in the trailer though. At the drop, I forgot. I completely forgot all the stuff that happened in the Chainsaw Man trailer. I forgot. But Black Myth Wukong looks like it's going to be very good. One of the most ambitious titles I'm seeing thus far that's still in development, but what they've shown off so far greatly kind of surpasses a lot of games that I see are being released this year. It just looks amazing. Who's faster, Sonic or versus Flash? The Flash. Oh, yeah, what do you think about the Chainsaw Man music so far? I'm really excited for it. It's so good. Yes. Yeah, the music is actually quite nice. I actually like the music itself. Top 5 most wanted death battles and top 10 currently released fights. Um... I'm trying to think. Top 5 wanted death battles. Dang, I can't think of anything. Because they got to coincide with each other. Sort of, a little bit. Because they always have a parallel when it comes to death battles. But top 10 currently released fights. Rock Lee versus Sanji. That was one of my favorites. Raiden versus Excalibur. Sephiroth versus Virgil. I can't think of all of them because there's been a lot of death battles. Oh, Homelander versus Omni-Man. That was actually really good. I enjoyed that one. The fact that, and this is another moment where Young Ye got another acting role because he was a voice. Rock Lee. Yeah, there was a death battle with Rock Lee versus Sanji. Yeah, this was back in 2020 when this was released. December 14th, Sanji versus Rock Lee. Since it's in question format, would you do the One Piece Pirate Crew tag right now? Since it's in question, would I do the One Piece Pirate Crew tag? What is that? What is that exactly? Like, Pirate Crew tag? What is that? What exactly is a death battle? Am I missing something? Oh, it's a YouTube channel, Rith. It's a YouTube channel where they pit different characters from different series and a death and see who would win in a last time on death battle. Like it's an entire YouTube channel dedicated to doing, well, death battles between different characters from different media. DC and Marvel, different types of characters. You might want to look it up because they got a ton of fights in there. And they go in depth about how powerful these characters are and how they would stack up against their opponents. So you might want to look into that. What you think about the Hulk versus DBS Broly? Oh, I forgot about that. That was actually a good one. Though I feel like they I can't say too much because Riff doesn't know about Death Battle, and I kind of don't want to spoil it just in case he sees it. So I gotta be careful. I don't want to say too much about it. So what is this pirate crew tag thing that Shonen Sensei was talking about? I wonder if there's any Kokushibo death battles. There isn't. I think he likes Kokushibo. Yeah, I think you like Kokushibo a lot too because you bring up his name quite a bit. But is this something that's going on that I should know of? Is like an event or something concerning a pirate crew tag? Okay, so you and I are looking at the exact same thing because I just pulled this same tab up. I already got this tab up. Okay, so pirate crew tag. Wow, this is old. This is from 2017. Pirate crew tag. Join the One Piece pirate crew tag and show how you plan to become king of the pirates. 1. What is your devil fruit power if you have one? Make up your own or choose existing one. If you aren't a devil fruit user, say non-devil fruit user. What role? 2. What role would you play on the crew besides captain? 3. Pick 12 One Piece characters, 6 fighters, and 6 supports, and form a crew that you believe could handle the new world and help you become Pirate King. Specify fighters and supporters and what supporters help with. 4. You cannot have any Yonko, past or present, on your team. Kaido, Big Mom, Blackbeard, Shanks, and Whitebeard are off limits. Film and filler characters are allowed. Extra rules. Optional rules I made up myself. Don't have to follow. 5. No crew member should be part of the world government or possibly Revolutionary Army. Extra optional warlords may be exceptional. Avoid crew members of Yonkos. It would probably take me a while to do this. Because it's a lot of thinking about what it would do. Huh. That would probably take me a hot minute to do. I probably would do that on my own time and come back to you. But I don't know. I can't just come up with everything on the spot immediately. Because I can't include people. Try to avoid crew members of Yonkos, and Warlords are exceptional, but this was made back in 2017. A lot has happened since then, so, I'll save this post for later. What other instruments do I play other than trumpet? I have a bass, which I haven't really touched much because my trumpet is my main instrument. I can play on the keyboard. I can play guitar a little bit. But trumpet is my main instrument. If you give me a little bit of time, I can basically learn anything except for drums. My hand-eye coordination is not good when it comes to drums, because there's a lot of things that I have to think of. I mean, when it comes to me playing the trumpet, I just need to remember what the keys are for just 3 things. But with drums, I got to remember the beat and then hit everything while still keeping the beat. And it's just like my hand-eye coordination would just be thrown off completely. Oh, yes, I did forget to answer your question, Rith. I forgot to answer one of my questions. Top 5 manga battles to be animated. So, like, battles you're excited to see animated. Pretty much the rest of the fights in Demon Slayer, because I still have to watch the season with Uzui. I still have to watch the marketplace, the night marketplace for Demon Slayer. Oh my goodness, I gotta actually watch that when I'm done with this. Might have to postpone my. No, I'll do it later. I may have to sit down and just binge watch through the latest season of Demon Slayer, because I never watched through it. I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it already, but I haven't seen it. But pretty much all the fights of Demon Slayer going forward. I know, Rith, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the latest season of Demon Slayer in the market. I haven't watched the Red Light District arc yet. I know. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. But that's one. Basically, the fights from Demon Slayer. The Yamamoto versus Yua fight. The later fights in One Piece, but I can't go into details because those are massive manga spoilers. And pretty much the major fights that are going on in My Hero. So, the major fights near the ending of Demon Slayer, the major fights in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc of Bleach, the current fights that are going on in My Hero Academia. So, Demon Slayer, Bleach, My Hero, One Piece, and, well, just pretty much anything that's going on in One Punch Man at the moment. Actually, you know what? No, I want to see the fights that in Solo Leveling get animated, like all those major fights. Could I watch the penultimate episode like on the Discord server or something? Imagine a watch party? I don't even know if I can only do that. Because I probably wouldn't be able to stream it simply because it's something copyrighted, and I kind of don't want to have anything, happen to my channel as a whole. Yeah, I probably wouldn't. I'm thinking, but I probably wouldn't be able to just stream it live for you all, like my reaction to watching the Red Light District arc. No, not stream it on the Discord server with fans. I would have to screen sharing and stuff. I would have to figure that out. I would have to figure that out where I could watch it and then you all can watch with me when I go through it. I would have to figure out the specifics first. If I could figure that out, then that'd be one way I can binge watch through a lot of anime and talk to you guys about it. But I have to figure that out, the specifics first. I would have to figure out the specifics first before I did that. I won't stream it, but it'd be a moment where we all could come together and watch anime at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, that might be a good idea. It might be fun to do, but I just have to figure out a good time to do it. Can I play something from Final Fantasy with my trumpet right now? Or do you just mean in general? And also, there were some other questions that were posted as well that I want to go over that someone said. Rith, you said, why do I have swords in my background? Well, they memorabilia. They're memorabilia pieces that I wanted to collect. And don't worry, Spicy Missile, I did not miss your question. I'm going to answer that real quick. So, I'm a bit of a collector. I got my nice, clean Mario hat off to the side, free of dirt and grime. I only wear it on special occasions or when I'm introducing myself to someone new. Stormbreaker all big, but the batteries aren't in it because for some odd reason Marvel decided to make this thing without an off switch. So at a random moment the sound would just go off and it just make noise for no reason. So that's one thing. I have Genji's sword from Overwatch, Mace Windu's lightsaber. Which is actually quite good with the battery life. The batteries haven't eroded inside of it, so it's quite good. So this is the good. It's nice. It's sturdy. You can't take the blade out, however, but apparently they're doing something different with Revan's lightsaber that's being released. Could mention, for instance, make a community post with the Discord link, mention a time, and that's about it. I just gotta work it and see if my I just would need to learn how to make a watch party for people on Discord. Just screen sharing stuff. That's what I would have to do. Just to make sure that everyone can see the image and we all can enjoy it together. Right now, if you wish, my trumpet is downstairs. Let me grab it. And what other instruments you would want to learn? Trombone would be interesting. Trombone is cool, but specifically the slide trombone, not the key trombone, but the slide trombone. I would like to play that. It's easy. I can teach you if you want to. Rith, I will let you know when I am ready to find out how to do that. It probably should be easy for me to do that. Because if I go actually here, let me see. Actually, it really shouldn't be hard for me to figure that out on my own. Like, create a watch party. Yeah, there's a way for me to do this. Yeah, there's already a do this. There's already a way. There's already a way. Activity, not seeing your game, add it. Aha! Okay, I know how to do it. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Don't worry, Rith, I figured it out. I got instructions right here. If you could be isekai'd into one series, what series would it be and why? I'd say the Sword Art Online. Well, it's either between Sword Art Online or the One Piece world. Well, granted, all the other series that I'm actually into, there's a large amount of danger surrounding them. I mean, One Punch Man, cities are getting destroyed left and right so nonchalantly. My Hero Academia currently right now, there's so much destruction happening in that one. One Piece is full of destruction. Every anime is full of destruction. But Sword Art Online seems a little bit less strenuous because it does more in like the virtual world than anything else. So that would be a cool world to live in. Oh, don't worry, Rith. I already know what to do. I already know how to do it. We don't need to test it out because I already know what to do. I just need to get a time together where I can enjoy the red light district of Demon Slayer with you all. I just need to pick a day that everyone will be comfortable. Well, I just need to pick a day. That's pretty much. It might be on a Saturday, and I don't expect it to be within the next week or so because I still got other things that I need to do. But I will eventually do like a watch party on Discord with all of you as we watch through the Red Light District episodes. But don't try and, force yourself to be ready for me to try and test this out because I mean, I'll handle that on my own. As soon as I let you guys know when I'm ready, then we can all sit down and watch the Red Light District itself. But yeah. What's other training I want to learn? How did I get into anime? How I got into anime was first anime I was into and watched was Pokemon. And this was back when me and my family were staying with our grandma on my mom's side of the family. We stayed with her for a while my dad was, in the military, out in the field, as they call it. And I would watch Pokemon all the time. Then you had Digimon. And then we had all sorts of different animes that got adapted for the United States. We had all sorts of things like Code Lyoko, which is not technically an anime, but it is a French animation show that gave me anime vibes. So Code Lyoko was one, and then you had all these other crazier animes that happened. Then Naruto came on the scene, and I feel like Naruto, when that premiered, that's what jump-started how much I really liked anime more than anything else. Because I watched Naruto before I watched One Piece. And we were watching it. Well, actually, no. I watched Dragon Ball beforehand. And then I would see all sorts of different late night animes that would pop up. Ooh, Ghost in the Shell. I remember watching Ghost in the Shell at a very young age, and I just thought, it also was incredibly. I was incredibly young to be watching Ghost in the Shell, and I didn't even understand the concepts of it all. Like recently, in the past couple, maybe 3-4 months ago, I got back into watching Ghost in the Shell from the very first standalone complex episode, and then watched everything related to it, including the 3D show that appeared on Netflix. So I was very young to be watching Ghost in a Shell, and I didn't understand it at all. I'm older, and I still don't understand a lot of it, but I can appreciate it more because my anime palette has enhanced over the years. So I got into anime at a very, very young age, but Pokemon, Dragon Ball, Naruto, and One Piece is what jump-started my love for, Japanese animations. And then from there, I just basically checked out everything else. And it was just been a fun ride ever since. But let me do this one thing. Before I bring this Q&A to a close, CJ was asking me about playing something. I got to get my trumpet from the trunk I forgot to take it out of the trunk of the car, so I need to grab that real quick. I'll be right back. Hold tight. All right. Don't worry, Zach. I'll check it out. Like what? You want me to read through it now? There's no guarantee I'm gonna like the series even if I go through it, though. There's no guarantee I'll like Hell's Paradise before I go through it. Like, what even is the story about? Hold on, let me look at volume 1. Hell's Paradise Jigokuraku. The premise seems interesting. Seems interesting. I'm looking up the description of it. So you just want me to check out and read through one chapter? An immortal person who can't be killed that wants to be killed. Themes, historical, supernatural. Parental advisory, explicit content. And this is by Viz, so they should have it on Viz itself, shouldn't they? Let me look it up. Yeah, they do. Oh, it only has 13 volumes. So it's a bit of a short series, isn't it? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll check out the first volume real quick. The day Qushu streams Volume 1 of Chainsaw Man, Jesus comes back, global warming stops, war stops, and the world is finally at peace. You really want me to check out Chainsaw Man? It's so easy to get spoiled. Don't worry. I'll do my best not to get spoiled on Chainsaw Man until I start it. I had to mute it a little bit so I could warm up just a little bit. CJ, you asked me if I could play anything from Final Fantasy. This is my first time playing this, so bear with me. And I can't go to a lower octave than that. I was looking at the playback, my bad. Just try chapter 1 first. Don't worry, I got a preview here. I got a preview chapter here on Viz first. It'll let me look through the first chapter. Then see how it goes. But don't worry, I'll touch on Chainsaw Man, and I'll check that out. I'll touch on Dragon Ball Super, because I hear a lot of things are happening in that. And, well, let me go ahead and check out Hell's Paradise. So you know what? Hold on, yeah. Let's go ahead and check this out. Let's just check out the first chapter. If I never go through with checking out this whole series on my channel, at least I'll just check out the first one. Okay, so before I cap off this this Q&A stream, it was really just people asking me questions, but it's turned into a reaction stream to Hell's Paradise. Jigokureki. So okay, let's see. So we got chapters. Oh, this is a bit long, isn't it? So at least chapter 1. We at least got chapter 1. Okay, chapter 1. Decapitation demands exemplary sword technique. The human neck with its solid vertebra and thick layers of muscle and sinew is not something so easily cleaved.
Any parting words?
Nah. As such, to accomplish it in a single clean cut is a feat few have mastered. The job typically requires a flurry of hacks that transform the execution grounds into a tableau of hell. And the dude gets hit in the neck, and the blade actually breaks on his neck.
I told you to stop resisting.
The blade,
Is ninjutsu?
why can't I die? No, why won't I die? Chapter 1. An attachment towards life. An attachment towards life? Not me. I've slaughtered heaps along the way, so why would I expect a long life for myself? I'm ninja to the core. I'm not someone who sees the value of life. From the time we're born, ninja from what is that? Iwa? From the time we're born, ninja from Iwagakure learn how to kill and nothing else. The payoff is a superhuman body. I see. Those from Iwagakure think nothing of witnessing a blade shatter against their bare flesh?
It's about right.
That incompetent couldn't scratch me. Didn't even use ninjutsu to defend. You're capable of ninjutsu, then. Wouldn't be ninja otherwise. Might I have a demonstration?
Why?
I'm curious, personally.
Nah, no thanks,
says whoever this person is. And then another guy goes, "He shall be burned at the stake!" Iwagakure, that sounds familiar. Of course, I really want you to read Chainsaw Man because 1, Chainsaw Man is my favorite manga, and 2, you're my favorite reactor. Well, thank you, Rift. Oh, you make my heart go all soft. Thanks for checking it out. Nah, no problem, Zach. I might as well just give it a look-see before I write it off. He shall be burned at the stake. Execution by flame was originally conceived of an appropriate punishment for arsonists. The scorched skin causes unimaginable pain while the heat shrinks the muscles, warping the body enough to crack bone. But in the end, it is the smoke given off by the pyre's fodder that suffocates or poisons the condemned. It's a brutally painful method of execution. To the extent that kind-hearted executioners may carry out a mercy killing in advance. Sorry about that. And they try to, I don't know what they try to do to him. I guess they try to stab into him, but nothing happens. And then this dude's body just goes up in fire, and then he's just sitting there in his cell with his clothes burned going, I'm not actually trying to resist because he survived the execution again. That's something him and Kaido have in common. In fact, I want to be killed. Is that so? Why can't look at me? How about giving me some clothes then? Hey! My role is taking down these records. As facing away from you does not impede my doing so, I will continue like this. There's nothing too fascinating about my origins, though. And yet, this is my job. My parents? All I know is that the village chief killed them when I was a baby. Don't know the reason, and I don't think much about it. Dreams? Nah, dreams? Nah, ambitions and big causes aren't part of the ninja world. We kill whoever we're told to, and that's that. How I got caught? I was on my way to cutting ties with the village, but wouldn't you know it, I was doing one last job when my comrades betrayed me and got me captured. Whole thing was a setup from the start. Order came down straight from the chief himself. It's village law that ninja pay a price for going astray. It's just how it goes. And then the person taking all this stuff down, they don't say anything. And then I guess she says, and? Why'd I cut and run, you're asking? He shall be torn asunder by oxen! Wow, we're getting a whole bunch of descriptions about these brutal executions. This particular execution style sees one pulled apart by oxen via ropes tied to one's legs. The human legs can withstand up to 500 kilograms of force, but the beast's tug with a force of 6 koku, 950 kilograms. In practice, the condemned is often torn in two from groin to breast before the legs have a chance to detach. And it shows this man, getting ripped apart in a very grisly way. Then it has this ninja dude who's face to face with oxen. And then another one goes, "Do not resist this time." And then I guess they light a fire on the back of the oxen so they can run in opposite directions with his legs. And the ox pulls, and it's pulling, and it tires both of the oxen out and causes them to fall at this dude's feet. Village hidden in the mist, I believe. I think that's what it's called. What did I just say? That kind of tickled. Astonishing, isn't it? This is a disgrace to the magistrate's office. Bring out more oxen at once!
You again? Must not have had a lot on your schedule.
And you still haven't answered my question from yesterday. You told me you wished to be killed, and yet it appears as though you resisted your execution just now. Now, why would a man with no will to live do such a thing? Or why attempt to leave your village in the first place?
Enough record-taking. This one's about to...
This is my job.
I've got the oxen ready.
I'm working.
It wasn't. Much of a reason, really. I was the best of the best at Iwagakure. The chief recognized my worth and had his own daughter marry me. That daughter, by the way, is dim-witted as they come. It's beyond me how a ninja chief's girl could end up like that. Peace-loving and naive to the ways of the world, like a doll in a box. And she turned my life upside down.
And then she goes, "Take off your shoes in the entryway. Once a day we have to pray to the gods. Now don't forget to give thanks for your meal. We must be grateful for the gift of life."
This is getting tedious. I'm losing my edge even.
As he's in front of the village chief. And the village chief just goes,
"If that is how you see it, then so it must be. But as penance for breaking this vow, won't you carry out one last mission?"
And then it shows him being held by numerous spears on the ground.
The moment I learned they set me up, I also realized that even if I evaded capture, then Iwagakure would hunt me down to the ends of the earth. I was doomed as soon as the trap was sprung.
And it shows the village chief in the background kind of smiling to himself. He knew exactly what he was putting this guy through.
I was such an idiot to even ever think I could escape, so I've thrown in the towel. Well, like I said, not much of a reason.
And then it cuts to the lady who's been taking all these notes down as she's silent, and then it cuts to her outside of his cell as a person goes, "Ma'am, I apologize if I'm overstepping my bounds here, but I don't think a lady such as yourself ought to be anywhere near him."
You even know who he is? Gabimaru, former ninja of Iwagakure.
What of it?
Yes, Gabimaru the Hollow.
As it shows Gabimaru just eviscerating tons of people effortlessly. Like heads are getting chopped off, people are getting stabbed everywhere. And that is the end of the first chapter of Jigokuraku. Interesting. Welcome back, Rith. Welcome back to the Discord. If you get annoyed by me, by the sound, not me uploading stuff, by the sound of the notifications, you can make it so that it's only like at mentions, so that it's not constantly going off on your phone. You can mute the notifications on a specific channel if it keeps going off too much for you, so that way it doesn't disturb you. That's the beauty of Discord. So, the first chapter of Jigokuraku, interesting. I will say that much. The top in the best ninja out of Iwagakure, called Gabimaru the Hollow. It's interesting. No guarantee that I'll just, react to it, but it is interesting. I may come back to this. I may come back to this story, Zach. I may come back to it. But yeah, once again, thanks to you for doing the Final Fantasy music earlier. Of course, CJ, I don't mind. Skies of Arcadia is another matter entirely. No, it's not the sound. You have literally 0 pings always, so you can know whenever someone's messaging you. Oh, okay. Okay. I get you. I understand. Okay, 2 hours and 25 minutes of a Q&A. That was actually quite long. That was actually a lot longer than I was expecting. I was not expecting this many people to actually tune in. It's annoying because you think you get pinged one, you think it's a friend, but it's an upload from you. So is your notification sound the same all across your phone? So you can't tell if it's a message from a friend or not? I wish they had an option where you can designate different tones to different things, so that you can dedicate one sound to let you know that, hey, it's my friend, or just one specific one to say like, oh, hey, Qushu uploaded something. I wish they had that option to make it easier on you. So I understand, especially when you have one universal notification sound, it's hard to gauge who it is or what it is that you get a notification for, so I understand completely. It's all good. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it that. I'm going to call it a session for right now concerning my Q&A. A lot of things to think over. You guys learned about me a little bit more. Oh, you did send me a message. See, the funny thing is, I've seen this dance before. It was from a character from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I laughed my heart out. I laughed like crazy when I saw this character do it because of the way that it was dancing and it was going with the music as well. I found it immensely humorous. So seeing Kokushibo do this same dance, yeah, I get the same feeling. Too. All right. A fix for this was setting up a role so that the bot pings the role instead of everyone, so like an upload role. I get you. All right. This was a good Q&A. A good moment for me to talk to my audience. A good moment for you all to learn more about me. And I'm looking forward to the next sort of streams. I'm looking forward to the next sort of stream, these next sort of streams in the future. So that way we can talk a little bit more. You guys get to learn a little bit more about me. We get to talk about different things. You guys learn quite a bit. Stuff that I've seen, stuff I haven't seen. This has been a good chat. This has been for my first Q&A stream that I've ever done. This actually went quite well. And I just want to say thanks everyone for showing up because I wasn't expecting a whole bunch of people to show up to these types of streams. You have some people that only show up for Zelda. You have some people that only show up for beginning after the end. You have some people who only show up for my reactions and stuff. But to have you guys come in for just me doing my first QA stream, I greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to that Chainsaw Man read-through and Demon Slayer watch-through. I just gotta, once I get it started, I will let you all know. Specifically, Demon Slayer may happen before Chainsaw Man, so I can go ahead and take care of the Red Light District. Good thing I haven't seen it yet, so that way we all can enjoy it together. But like I said, I'll pick a day where I have absolutely nothing to do. And if you guys are available, then we can watch it that way. But like I said, I'll keep you all posted on any changes that happens for the channel. And as far as the Discord watch party eventually as well. So keep that in mind. I already got enough stuff planned for the Sunday, and then Tuesday, and then near end of this month as well. And then we got September and a lot of stuff happening then as well. So I got a lot on my plate, and I can't wait to just dish it all out. But overall, I enjoyed today's stream today, and I hope you all did as well. All I can say at the end of the day, hope you do the Demon Slayer thing before the 15th of September when high school starts up again for me. And it'll probably be before then. It either might be, it probably might be in the beginning of September or whatever, but I'll find a good day. If I find a good day, it might even be sooner than that. But that's all I got. All I can say is, at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, and maybe even consider becoming a member because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples. Now, gonna go ahead and set up my stream for Zelda because we still need to play that today. Busy. This is what a working man does.